Hi.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Brad Volker with Cooper
Nice to
Engineering.
meet you, Brad.
Nice to meet you.
Oh, welcome
Hi.
back,
Yeah.
Mr. Cook. Um, hello. Hi, guys.
How was the flight?
It was real nice. Yeah, there's a little bit of there's one dark cell of clouds to the northwest.
Didn't decide you wanted to dip in there and get your plane washed?
No. No, I'm a fair weather fly for sure. Not rated and just a hobbyist.
My brother was a pilot for FedEx for 30 years.
Who's that?
My brother,
Oh, really?
he flew all over the world.
Oh, sure, yeah.
He doesn't even want to get on a plane anymore.
Such a spectacular way to go. I tried to get my son to get his pilot's license.
Yeah.
Flying around up here is phenomenal.
So you're going out after.
Yeah,
You're going out with Max.
yeah, maybe. I'm on no schedule, so
And you flew.
yeah,
Home by dark.
Good weather.
yeah. What's that?
Said it was good weather.
Yeah, I lucked out. I mean, was it
Where'd you
yesterday?
fly?
We're not meeting yesterday.
Yeah.
Where'd you fly from?
I live in Rice Lake, but I have two partners on our when we hangar in Cumberland,
Got it.
so.
I might have one of these. Did you get one of these? Did anybody get?
No.
There's
That from last week or from the agenda? I printed off a copy.
Well, no, this is from June 17th agenda. Did you see that?
more of those.
Yeah, I got one here. I saw it on online.
Oh, good. Okay, so you
This one here. I didn't see this one.
get that? This is that.
Hi, everybody. How's it going?
Fine.
Good.
How are you?
Hello?
Oh, just splendid. Need to go jump in the lake, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Marnie's coming. She must.
Arnie's coming tonight?
Or what?
What did you just say?
I wonder if Marnie's coming.
Oh, if Marnie is coming.
Yeah, I haven't heard any.
I saw her a couple hours ago riding her bike down back home, so
Yeah.
she's on the island.
Isn't that fun? I'm just gonna give you all this extra stuff right here.
Thank you, Nana.
All right. Okay. Um. Okay. Well, we did.
We've
Marnie,
got a
another-
couple more minutes before 4 o'clock.
I did the same thing.
Nice and cool here.
Yeah. Okay, so. You wanted to get the minutes. My. What time do we have? Anybody have the exact
2 minutes.
2 minutes?
2 minutes.
Did you want to get up and do a little song? So.
I might have
She thought about it.
a couple of hours.
She thought about it.
Well, if I had a glass of wine, I would.
This is just straight.
Oh,
Anyway, well, it's nice to be the person behind the Pictures. Sit down nicely written.
Yeah, I had to pull, I was shocked when I pulled this out and I was kind of shocked that it was 3 years ago. Seemed like it was yesterday,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah. Yeah. 3 years, so. We're motivated.
It's I mean, it's a admirable thing you're trying to do. Get people out to the beach.
Yeah. And it's, I'm glad to see Wisconsin doing it because Minnesota has really taken a jump on. Has it? Yeah, that's way ahead on this for making parks more accessible. So it's a good thing. Gotta do it. It's just a different era financially.
Yeah.
So see what happens. How was your fourth? Good fourth?
Yeah, nothing too crazy,
I
pretty low key.
am. Were you here did you get back in time?
I just got back.
Well, you did.
Yeah, I got back just middle of June, end of June.
Oh, okay, so you saw the parade and
Yeah, I got to come for four. Oh, yeah, I wasn't gonna miss the fourth.
I thought the parade that was a good one. I was
Yeah.
surprised. Last year was,
Busy
kinda iffy,
and-
but
Yeah,
this year was great.
Lots of effort.
Yeah,
it was nice. They kept it non-political, and that's what kind of
Absolutely.
nice.
it wasn't. I put signs on my car. They were standing out there.
Fireworks were super nice.
Best ever.
I thought they were really good. I mean, compared to other years.
I didn't go.
I didn't
Oh.
either. I couldn't deal with it.
We were sitting right on Steve and Lucy's lot at the post office.
Oh, yeah.
And it was right there in your face.
They invited us down too. It was set by Charlie Bremer's place.
I was gonna go down and sit on Aaron's boat and I went, I can't do that.
A lot of kids having fun in the water and
Yeah, that was nice. It was perfect. It was beautiful. It just, I saw the video of the fireworks, some of it, and it just,
Yeah.
a long, beautiful fireworks show. So that was neat. Okay, I think it's
Yeah.
5. Call the meeting to order and those present.
Yes.
Lynn,
John Sheldon.
Mimi Smith,
Tori Moore, and Kels.
Sophie Peterson.
And we're absent Marnie, but called meeting to order. Last previous month's minutes or previous meetings minutes. Do I have any motions? Any comments, first of all? Okay, Clint? Make a motion to approve the minutes?
Yeah.
Anybody second that?
I second.
Okay, Mimi seconds it. Mimi Hertzman. And minutes are approved. Reports and updates. Okay, any unfinished business? I think maybe the thing to do is to go right into Brad
Yeah.
Volkers. Welcome Brad Volker from Cooper Engineering to discuss at least one of the proposals. So go ahead, please. Welcome, thank you.
Yeah. Well, Max, mentioned to me just a half hour ago that you've kind of ruled out, the structural walkway and, alternative 3, I believe, which would kind of follow the existing path and kind of be a trough, without much of a view. Do I have that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Alternative 2 and 4, correct? That's the ones you guys are.
Most interested in. Yeah,
Mhm.
so alternative 2 is trying to make a path, that would start out at the edge of the hill, basically, and and kind of roughly follow contours of the hillside, but be cut into the hillside, but be dropping slowly all the way towards the bridge. You know, if the whole goal is to be ADA compliant, the max slope, longitudinal slope you can have is what we call it a 5% slope. So that means for every 100 feet you go down the path, you drop 5 feet. So anything steeper than that and you're not compliant, you know, it's hard for wheelchairs, whatnot. So I can't remember what the exact number is, but you know, between the beach on the other side of the bridge and say the parking lot, there's about 25 feet of drop. And so you gotta basically make your path long enough to keep that slope flat enough.
Right.
So, in this feasibility study, you know, we also assumed that the whole length of the bridge, roughly 150 feet, will also be on that same slope to help make that drop, you know, by the time you get to the beach out there. So, you know, a couple things come to mind with that. All of our alternatives assume I would call it a pre-engineered or pre-designed steel bridge. There's several companies that's what they do. And so that's certainly doable. But from an aesthetic standpoint, you know, just be aware that what we've put in here assumes a bridge on a slope. So if you're in a kayak in the lagoon, you know, it may not have the greatest aesthetics, a bridge that's on a slope, as opposed to a bridge that might be dead level
Right.
and have a bowstring or something. And I just want people to know that we're trying to lose some elevation, not only on the path, but on the bridge. And I mean, I don't think it would look bad, but it just may not be as aesthetic as a bridge that was level and had some symmetry, or, you know, doesn't mean you couldn't put some decorative features on the bridge or whatnot. So yeah, alternative 2 is basically cutting in a level path along the hillside. You know, it would have some curves and whatnot to it to follow the lay of the land. You know, there's a lot of rock outcropping along there, so it would definitely be what we call rock cut. You know, not all of it, but some of it, or a good share of it. I mean, it's certainly a doable thing. It costs more than excavating soil.
Yeah.
But
Ed, how far away would you say that leaves the trailhead starts from the office at the town park
yeah,
to get that grade?
yeah. Let's just look at it here, maybe. It's that's 4. No. That's 4. Let's look at 2. Yeah, so I don't know.
Doesn't necessarily show the building there.
Yeah. Shows the pavilion there.
Pavilion.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, so I would say we're just west of the pavilion where we're kind of meeting the gravel area there.
So this would all have to be excavated out, so it starts your slope already.
Yeah,
And then by the time you get here, you'd be with the bridge.
right, right.
Yeah.
And so the slope on the bridge, you know, is gonna be about 5%. And the slope on the whole path, once you start by the pavilion, you're going downhill all the way.
Right. Mhm.
And when you're coming back, you're going uphill all the
That's
way.
what I would be concerned about.
Yeah. Um, so, you know, we don't show it here, but you could certainly make some bump outs and some spots with benches.
And that pathway is an ended packed gravel.
We actually, our estimate assumes that it'll be concrete sidewalk.
The whole way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wide. Now is there anything sacred about that? No. No. But it would be, you know, it'd be less maintenance.
I
Yeah,
think it'd be a lot more manageable for access. Concrete would be over gravel.
Yeah, you'd put it over gravel. You know, you'd do some rock excavation and then you'd put
Yeah.
enough gravel down to make a smooth layer and, you know, I would say, you know, excuse me, some of you I'm sure have construction experience, but two kinds of concrete. There's concrete that's cracked and there's concrete that's gonna crack.
yeah,
So, you know, you put joints in concrete and you try to make it crack where you put a joint, so the crack is a straight line and nobody knows it's there. But all I want to say is just, you know, every concrete project I've ever done, you know, it's a week old and there's a crack. And
Yeah.
so you have to know going in that perfection's impossible, but you try to get as close to it as you can. If we did this in concrete, you know, I think that would minimize, you know, labor and expense that you're gonna have down the road with
Maintaining.
maintaining ground.
okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, as long as it's not gonna be salted in the winter and
No.
plowed, and that will help a lot.
You wouldn't want to do that, put salt up the winter.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, they, now, and you may have read this in here, but there are some standards, you know, even though this is mainly a walkway bridge for maintenance, the government wants it to be travelable by up to a 10,000 pound vehicle.
Is that tied to the funding at all?
I don't know if it is.
Okay.
I'll admit I don't know the answer to that. I just know that, you know, we were kind of just looking at what does Wisconsin DOT or other DOTs do? And
Because we had talked with, who came up in conversation from some of the EMTs that definitely be important to have ATV, UTV accessible.
yeah,
Not necessarily an ambulance, because right now they're carrying the gurney up the stairs. So some type of wheeled vehicle, not a 10,000 pound truck.
Right.
well, and you know, a typical pickup truck is not 10,000 pounds. So if you had an emergency out there, even, you know, I'll admit, I don't know what an ambulance weighs, but a typical pickup truck's, I think a 1/2 ton pickup truck is maybe in the order of 5,000 pounds. So if you had an emergency out there and it helped to put somebody in the back of a pickup to get them to the parking lot, you know, that would
It's
be,
gonna be wide enough.
what we say is 8 foot inside to inside of rails,
Okay,
handrails, you know,
Mhm.
so to be able to drive at least you know, even if you had a 1/4 ton pickup truck, kind of for that.
will the curb be big enough down here to be able to turn though? Or are they gonna make that,
You know, I would say we haven't designed this yet, you know, but those are all good questions and
Mhm.
let's make sure we can.
Yeah.
Um, it could be too that maybe well, I don't know,
Well,
just in a planning way, thinking of those kinds of emergencies. What do you do now, Is probably not like you have a equipment for emergencies parked there 365 days a year.
no,
I know we always had with our ATV clubs and snowmobile clubs, we had a thing that we pulled behind. We had to go get somebody on a trail,
mhm.
that might be something we have to have.
I
Go
think,
down, pick somebody up and get them up to the ambulance rather than try to.
I think they were talking about
Yeah, John.
an
Nelson
ATV.
Specifically
Yeah.
about the UTV, because that's.
Yeah.
Trailerable and could get there.
Right,
in a certain
right.
amount of time.
Yeah. I mean, I think we'd want to make it this way so that, even just getting snow off of it,
Yeah,
you can use some equipment to do that, because that's that's a long path.
yeah.
But.
I know that we had a question at one point in time, as far as cost, what do we have into this workup to date? What is this study estimate and all that budgetarily? What do we have into it
Right,
as of today?
I don't remember what we charged for this. I'd have to look it up.
Yeah, I don't even. My time, so.
Yeah. I'm sorry, John, I don't remember what we charged for this 3 years ago. I could look that up and get it to you.
Just
4.6.
for,
Yeah,
I think it was,
yeah.
I mean, I don't know if it's
I thought it was 20.
1,000.
Yeah. Somebody mentioned that. That's.
I would doubt it was that much, but
Okay,
things add.
just
Yeah,
Yeah,
because as we're going down this, cost analysis to redraw or relook at or add to or change, just trying to keep an idea.
yeah, and when you look at the different estimates, there's 4 of these in here or 2.
Yep.
With the alternatives you're interested in. We tried to do a semi-detailed estimate of what do the pieces and parts cost construction wise. But then it's pretty typical in our industry that then engineering is kind of a percentage of that. Engineers don't typically cost near what the construction costs. And that makes sense.
Yeah.
You wouldn't spend as much designing your expansion of your house as you would building it.
Right.
So, but this number right here, is just applying a percentage and coming up with a cost to hire a Cooper or somebody like Cooper to do actual design and put enough of a plan and a spec together that the contractors of the world can bid it apples to apples.
mhm.
So I would guess that any type of government funding you might latch on to would require that you bid this out. And a lot of times that's where engineer is needed, just to put together a plan and a spec package that has enough detail that if you have 3 or 5 or 8 bidders, those bids all come back and they're somewhat close together. If they're all over the board, that's kind of an indication that maybe the plan and the spec wasn't that good. If they're somewhat tighter, that's an indication that the plan and the spec didn't have a ton of questions in it. But I would imagine that if you're getting a grant for this, it probably requires bidding it out.
Sure.
Mhm.
Does that sound consistent, Next?
Well, we'll
Do
definitely.
you recall any wording of such in the grant money that says that it has to be engineered?
Well, okay. The first task we have to do is submit our application. And my impression from talking to those folks, is we can make a change after that, but we gotta get that application in. we'll pick one of these alternatives, whether it's two or four, and we'll go with that for the application, just so they know we're serious. I guess a lot of grant money just withers on the vine. People don't go proceed, you know, they don't get it in. So they told me just get some kind of application in. You don't feel like you're bound to it, but do that. Make sure. And you probably think this is crazy, but we're sort of talked about the end of July that we'd have an application in. Then,
I don't think it's crazy.
you don't think it's great? Okay.
Well,
good.
no, but,
Um,
but I haven't looked at it.
Once we get the money, then the money's locked in. We got 3 years to complete the project, and I see by your timelines, 2 years. It looks from when you start the design period to the end, it's around 2 years, right? No matter which alternative you have.
Yeah, I was looking
Probably,
at,
and they might be a little different, but we
yeah,
got time. After we get the money, we got time to really nail this down. I forget what your design time was.
yeah, we had a design time, it looks like of about half a year.
Yeah.
Not that design necessarily takes half a year, but just, you know, meeting with folks like you, making sure we're on the same page and.
And I looked at that bridge is a year. So that has to be on a critical path pretty early.
Yeah,
That nailed down enough that we can get that on order, right?
yeah, so, yeah, the bridge people, I mean, we didn't talk to several companies that pre-manufacture and engineer bridges, but we did talk to one of them. And they said, you should plan on, you know, from the time you bid it out and one of us is selected to build it, that, you know, you won't take delivery for a year. So, but you can be doing other things
Right,
while they're doing that. You can even be starting to do the site work, you know?
right.
Right.
So,
The other thing, John, that I wanted to make sure everybody understood, because a lot of grants have matching, you know, you have to match something, right? The way this one works is, so if we get $1.5 million, we don't have to put any money in ourselves until we go over $1.5 million. That's what you said. Your matching is whatever it costs over $1.5 million. It's not like during the project that we, sometimes, you know, the match, every bill comes in, you put in your part of what you're gonna get reimbursed for. We don't have to do that. So, you know, depending on how much this will cost, we don't pay until the end, till we run out of that grant, and then the rest of it's on us. And that'll be 2-3 years down the road, right?
yeah.
So today we want to land on 2 or 4, agree on moving forward with that one so we can do the application.
Yeah,
So it has to be in by the end of the month.
yes.
Yeah, or close to it.
Good.
One question I was gonna ask you, where do we all, you know, the cultural history here with the Ojibwe. When do we have to do a phase 1 archaeological survey? Do we do that now? Do we do that as part of the environmental review, or when do we have to do that?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think as soon as you thought you were solid on an alternative,
Mm-hmm.
I would do that.
Okay, great.
Yeah,
Because that might derail everything immediately.
It might.
yeah, yeah,
But you have to do it.
Yeah.
I think so, yeah,
Agreed.
Absolutely.
yeah.
So let's, because I know that we had talked about questions of having the engineer and having that part. See that getting,
I shouldn't sit that way. I don't know if there's a camera on the.
there is.
Air watching.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay, they're looking at the back of their heads, so.
So I'm trying to think if I even answered the question. I'm trying to remember.
Well,
What?
So as a group, we need to figure out what our goal is so we can get the application in.
Yeah,
Yeah,
And
because we can always change stuff. on it.
exactly.
Yeah, I mean, if
Yeah.
what you said is right, Max, maybe don't get bogged down with that. Like, for example, Max might run me out there. Not that I'm a decider at all, but like when Arnie Nelson I mean, it's not really nice that Arnie Nelson pointed out this alternative four. But when Arnie pointed it out to myself and one of my coworkers and Michael Kupta at the time, we went out there and there were 2 feet of snow and it was really hard to tell anything.
Yeah.
So I will admit that I haven't even walked
Walked either of them.
Arnie's
Arnie's.
potential path, but I do think highly of Arnie. So I think it's probably worth considering highly,
Yeah,
but maybe your application doesn't have to.
Just so you know, on the way in from the airport, I'm gonna run them out there after this. And then I guess whatever you guys decide, let's say you decide to go with alternative four, it could be pending, like if he calls and said, hey, there's no way that can work.
Right.
Like,
That's why you gotta look at.
like that.
yeah.
I
Um,
thought it was very helpful of us going out there because
Yeah.
the eyes on it.
Oh, made all the difference. And the thing I'm curious about, and I may not have heard right or been an idiot, but what about the issue of state land versus town land? Do we run into a problem with that with with alternative four?
The state park guy, who's the guy that we're supposed to get approval for an easement for, said it's possible, but I need more information. And,
Okay.
so I have been in contact with Nelson Survey.
Yeah, right. That's
Hey,
needed.
give me, what I need you to come out here and flag this so I can have a map that I can show them. But, and I was asking Brad before he came in, so if we had a 8-foot path, what Brad was saying, we should ask for a 20 to 25-foot easement.
Right.
And, so Nelson is preparing a quote for us to do that kind of work. It's not a full-on
Okay, so
survey, but it's just enough that we can get it to the state park. If, let's say, you pick alternative four, and then that part fell up, that's fine. We can tell, then we can go back and say, hey, well, we liked that one, but we couldn't get the easement, so we have to go to alternative two. That's not a problem. I don't worry about it. But I do worry if Brad says tonight, this is gonna be a nightmare if we do this. Not that he would,
I don't
but,
think that'll be the case, but
well, right, but I think
We need to cover.
we'll proceed with the assumption, if you picked four, I'm not, but if you did, that we would be able to get that easement, and I would put that in the application. This is conditioned on
on the easement.
being able to get an easement from the state. And then if we didn't get it, well, that's easy, then we just change track.
So we're sure that, because I don't think we were sure where the state line starts, so
Nelson had given me a little more detail. It doesn't look like it's much of, we don't really get on state land for very long.
Good.
And I think I got a little nervous when we started talking about 10,000. The state's probably gonna be like, yeah. I don't know, what are you guys gonna do with that? When are you gonna be driving trucks down there? Or they might not like that. But
Yeah.
if we're just talking about a UTV or something for rescue, I don't think they'd have a problem with
I
it.
don't think so either.
Yeah.
I just want to say what I like about alternative four rather than two is that going along before you get to the bridge, there isn't this sharp right-hand turn. And that kind of gives me pause.
Mhm.
Plus, I personally like where it's located rather than along the front, changing that view, that vista of the lagoon.
Taking out all of those trees.
Yeah.
No.
Exactly. It does not change that vista, which is part and parcel.
yeah, your existing path could largely stay like it is.
All we're gonna do is take that road and,
And just drop it down.
And just drop it
Down,
down.
yeah.
Yeah.
so I talked to somebody finally with another outfit and quite a couple of questions that came up was, did we look at all the rehabilitation of the existing? And when I say that, by rehabbing what's there, which you could considerably change it, takes a lot of the permitting and all of that out of the equation.
I'm sorry, are you talking about the rehabilitating the existing bridge? Okay, so I spoke with somebody and they said that bridge was repaired 30 years ago. And it was built, I think, 30 years before that. So it's not, their opinion was that it wasn't worth,
It's not hard.
no. Mm-mm.
And
We didn't look at that, John, I'll admit. We were told we want this to be ADA compliant.
Right.
And we just knew that that bridge wouldn't lend itself to that.
the vagueness of the rehabilitation, if it's in the same spot, even though it's a metal structure and metal supports, but it's removing what's there and on top of the same thing might eliminate a lot of the need for permitting and
Yeah,
in all of that coming in. It can still be right now it's got 4 cribs. It could potentially have 2 supports or something like that.
Yeah, and another thing, I'm glad you're talking about that, but all of our alternatives assume that this steel bridge is a single span.
Yeah.
In other words, nothing in the water.
Right.
You know, not that that's sacred.
That was one of the other questions is I assume that that is not a navigable waterway.
Oh, that is.
Always a navigable waterway.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, for sure.
So you can boat between the two.
I mean, how do I say this? There's times where that waterway's open to the lake,
Sure.
the lake. There's times where it's not. But because there's times where it is, it's definitely a navigable waterway, or even if it wasn't connected ever, you can put a canoe in it
Right, yeah, it's,
and float it.
I've had all kinds of problems with the DNR over that back home.
Because that was a big thing that they had asked, because if it technically is not, then DNR regulations aren't gonna fall into it.
Yeah.
And permits may be, in addition to, it might not be necessary to have the Army Corps involved in it either.
I think, yeah, it's definitely
Yeah,
navigable, so
okay.
I don't think you have any way around that,
All right,
but good questions.
Well, with a single span, then it's more accessible. Is that right?
Well, yeah, it definitely wouldn't be a hindrance to kayakers or.
Okay.
canoers. You know, I mean, your bridge now really isn't a hindrance.
Well,
This would be even.
People gotta duck a little,
Yeah,
get under it, but yeah,
Yeah, this would even be less of a hindrance.
yeah,
Okay.
I figured that, because if you're, have a little bit of a slant up on this one end, it's gonna be quite a bit higher. So
Yeah,
get under it.
I'll call it the mainland.
The mainland, yeah, the mainland, yeah.
The mainland side will be higher. That's not the right word. On the right island, but. Yeah, it's a neat project. I sure think it's cool that you're trying to do it, you know, but,
and when we were on site with Arnie, that one of the conversations that came up during that was possibility of some support, either a 2-piece bridge or potentially a 3-piece bridge based off of what's there.
yeah, there's nothing sacred about a single span. But I guess let it be known that it definitely is doable, you know?
Who would do the engineering on the footings to support something like that?
If you hired Cooper, we would,
Okay,
yeah. I mean, we'd probably do some. I don't know if we could get them to the beach, but we'd probably try to do a soil boring on this side at least. Yeah, maybe get them to the beach, like Twin Ports testing and the Twin Ports, I think they have a tracked soil boring rig, and you know, you could Arnie or somebody could probably get them to the beach, and then they can get to where they're trying
and
to.
I think there's access over at the state park. And might be able to come across the beach because they've got soft tired machines that don't necessarily damage or do any damage to the.
Yeah.
Is it would be possible to get a cost estimate on that engineering of any footings? And just in conversating, bridge, single span at that is a cost. It goes down exponentially if you break it in half or in thirds, cost wise. And then getting those pieces here by truck and assembly and all of that. So, we have 4 10 by 10 or 8 by 8 cribs there now that would go away. This would be 1 or 2 single post structures that would bore down and potentially get capped with concrete to support the bridge. So you could still have the flow underneath, but it might drop the cost of the bridge component dramatically.
But we'd only have to put a support in there if we break the bridge up, right? If a single span, you don't need anything.
No,
Yeah,
Really.
I mean, a single span's nice from the standpoint that you don't need that pier or piers in the middle.
Yeah, and is the cost gonna be,
But it's
The span,
bad in the
you know?
fact that you need a beefier bridge to span that far.
right,
So,
Wow,
yeah,
yeah.
but then it's the cost of putting these braces in to hold a 2-piece span, gonna come up to the same thing as a
Yeah, good
a
point.
full.
I think that's what we're trying to.
That's your question.
Take out of there
Yeah.
to find
Right.
out if it makes sense to go down that pathway or leave it alone,
Right,
because
yeah,
that was something that Arnie brought up when we were walking around there, said,
okay,
because he had looked at the potential of shifting, there's a peninsula that's moving, I think it was 30 or 40 feet closer to the lake, because that's the shortest distance, and that knocked 20 feet off the span right there.
Right.
okay,
Then it came up, why is it a single span when we could do this? And 2 60-foot bridges might be something considerably less, because it's not carrying the load. So that's, I think, worth at least looking into
yeah,
yeah,
the engineering component. So I mean, just for dollars and cents to find out, what it would cost to look at that engineering and what potentially that might do. Again, does it make sense, or are we wasting
yeah,
time?
are we coming out pretty close to the same thing as?
I
Yeah,
think it's a good question. I mean, those are the kinds of things that once you hire somebody for design, that's what you do. But maybe you want to know that before you really hire somebody for the overall design and the bidding documents. So you could stage it. I mean, you could hire us or somebody like us to put in a little bit of effort to answer those questions.
yeah,
Yeah,
Budgetarily, let's throw it out there and see what that, if you can get back to.
Yeah.
Find
Yeah.
out what that, for the specific cost analysis of, we'll just keep it simple, a single span versus 2 with a single support,
right.
and see if it's close, then it's off. If it isn't,
yeah,
then we can look at it and say, all right, because again, if there's money there, I don't see that it all has to be allocated to the bridge. We might be able to do a lot more with the ramp structure or redressing. Could be a lot of things that could go towards beautification of the area.
yeah.
Stretch that
I don't-
dollar further.
I don't think doing what you're asking would take that much. It's maybe I think roughly it's a day of somebody's time. I mean, admittedly, we would definitely call a company or two that make these bridges. And
Mhm.
we'd have that conversation, I mean, for this, they helped us ballpark. What is a 150-foot single span bridge cost?
Yeah,
So they can definitely help us ballpark what is
2.
2 75-foot spans that will carry a 10,000-pound maintenance vehicle. And our structural engineer in our office, he definitely can put a cost to, 2 abutments on land and 1 pier in the middle versus just 2 abutments.
Yeah,
So you can kind of answer that question without doing a ton.
yeah, we gotta look into both. I mean,
Yeah,
can't just go one, both, the cost is everything.
Yeah, I mean, when we put this together, we weren't hired to design it, so you you make a lot of assumptions,
Mhm.
but when you hire somebody to design this, well, then they really, then they,
Yeah, they dig it.
then it's a deep dive. you
Yeah,
know?
Okay.
So, yeah, that's certainly a possibility. I mean, we could rather quickly shoot you a cost and it wouldn't be a lot to do that if you wanted to do that before you hired somebody to
Yeah.
do a deep dive
Well,
overall.
the next thing
bid
to do is
package.
decide what we're gonna go with, I guess.
Well, we have to do that today.
Today.
So we can, so.
And then you'll look at stuff, I guess, and kind of give us an idea of what you think. Well,
Yeah, when we go out there today, I mean, if Nelson hasn't been out there yet, we may struggle to know where the line is,
Well,
but you
I could kind of tell you, and I've got a.
got a pretty good idea.
I can show you,
Okay.
but yeah, I want to be able to tell the state, we had this Nelson out here and they did
Right.
this. So,
Yeah,
And then when Arnie was out, we did look at the landing where that ravine stops and the point of land where it would connect was something far less than 210 feet. It was 100
Yeah.
feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were able to shorten that up a bit.
yeah, that alternative shifts the bridge to the northeast of.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
I can't remember where Arnie's path, let's call it Arnie's path, where his path comes to the bridge. Is that point on your land, or state land?
That's what we're trying to discuss.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to find out. It's
Okay.
pretty close.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is.
that ravine right there runs like right on it or hard in it.
And where there's a sign that says something about state park or whatever is beyond the other side of the ravine, but you
Right.
don't know whether that is 10 feet back,
Right,
right along the line.
yeah, you don't know whoever put the sign in, were
Right.
they on the line or?
It was
not.
probably the only tree that was available.
Sure,
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Yeah, interesting. Do you think your local state guy is the decision maker or does he have to go to Madison?
well, I had reached out to the regional people. Maybe they were just pointing me to that guy for this stage of the thing. I'm sure somebody upstairs will
Yeah,
sign off on it, but I was directed to him as he's the guy to work with.
yeah,
And maybe also because he's very familiar with the terrain and everything.
yeah,
So will there be somebody else? I'm sure there'll be.
yeah, yeah. I can guarantee you that that'll be an easier thing than I mean, good thing it's a state entity and not a federal entity.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cause like I'm trying to do something at the Cable Airport and National Park Service has the scenic riverway through there and. You know, at first you're talking with people in St. Croix Falls, but then all of a sudden you're talking with people in Omaha and
Yeah.
they're not as friendly as the people in St. Croix
No,
Falls.
it's just they don't. Right.
So. But yeah, I mean. You know, what you're trying to do is sure admirable and the state. You know, obviously they're all about recreation for the general public, and so I would like to think it would be pretty non-controversial.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Well said.
I don't think they want to come out and present that they're opposed to ADA accessible path to the park. I don't think they want that.
I want to revisit something that we were talking about earlier, which was the grade of both projects and ask Kelsey, it's going, what are her thoughts on the grade and how steep this is and getting down and up from your point of view?
Hi, peoples. I mean, as long as it's ADA, then I'm cool with it. Hi, I'm Tori's daughter and power wheelchair user. So that's really all it is to me in my mind. That and like not traversing through something that's going to turn into mud. With certain weather, because people like to call things accessible and then what certain weather gets on it or wear and tear and it's no longer accessible.
Yeah.
So those would be my main offerings with that, if that's helpful.
So the grade is gonna be accessible. You're not concerned about how steep it is
It
or,
has to be, yeah, in order to be
Yeah.
ADA.
yeah.
5%, I mean, 5 feet over 100 feet,
That's not much of a,
That's the same as 1 foot over 20 feet.
sure. And going down, but going up I mean, the full distance,
Yeah.
that is a long ways.
Yeah, so, admittedly, I haven't been in a wheelchair much, but
yeah.
I could imagine that going that whole way where you're rising 1 foot every 20 feet, that's no small task, I would
Right.
bet.
I mean, it might be worth talking with other parks who've done this and to see if did they stretch it a little bit or is that really not realistic, so that you're not is there, I don't know. That's a tough one because it's like it obviously makes that journey down there longer if you're ADA, but if you're not compliant on that, then it's kind of like, what are we doing?
Well,
I think it's certainly doable to make it ADA compliant. It's just, is that good enough? I mean, that's meeting the requirement, but do you want to exceed the requirement,
I think if we could improve the budget, do it as economically as possible, have something left over to go even further and more, might be a great idea.
Mhm.
and or you could have little side areas
places.
with benches and
Yes.
Yep,
just places to stop and rest.
I think that's a must,
Yeah,
I
that was
agree.
my other thought about this build is like, how do people really want to experience that place? How do people with assistive devices want to be able to experience that place? And when I think about it, I'm like, I don't just want a pathway down to the beach. I want a something that goes literally onto the beach where I can sit just like everybody else on the beach with my people
Yeah.
and be close enough to the water or even like have some sort of access into the water. Like there are places all over the world that have tracks you can transfer into that go into the water. And like that's how disabled people want to be able to experience this place.
yeah, there's
They don't
gotta
want to
be,
sit on the sidelines.
and the reason to not just get close and look at it, to actually get to it and enjoy it.
Yeah.
Well,
Exactly.
I was always thinking about is if we get this down there, we
Yes.
just can't have that
And we
little
can-
walkway. We gotta build something
Yep.
out,
Yep,
out there where they can get out
Yeah.
more towards the water. Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember, I don't think our alternatives really get to that point.
No, that really doesn't
Not
have
yet.
anything to do it. We're just basically in the,
But
getting it
yeah,
down there.
yeah, I mean,
And then that's gonna have to come.
And that,
there's a lot of ability there with boardwalks and
Yeah.
things that are very doable. I think that gets us thinking a lot past that, but I think that, our span should include a certain number of flat spaces
Yes.
in our transitions in between where it's level ground, level area where you can stop, rest, hang out, whatever, and then continue it. You don't want to have a full 500 foot, 5% grade and
Yeah.
Kind of like the state park to the town park boardwalk. There's those like lookout points where you can just take a
Right.
beat.
Yeah.
yep.
Mhm.
Yeah.
where's that, Kelsey?
It's the boardwalk that goes from the state park to the town park.
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
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 Yeah. And even like I'll be honest, like there are parts of that that's really great. I don't know that it's a ADA. I have my doubts. And like when I look at like I wouldn't traverse that alone. It can't be ADA because there's parts of that boardwalk that are so thin that my dog can't, my tiny dachshund can barely walk next to me. And there's no
Yeah.
borders
Right.
on the wood boardwalk. So if I take my eyes off the boardwalk, I'm falling right off that thing.
That was another thing. We'd have to widen
So-
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not accessibility if you have, like, to me, accessibility is like, I want to have the freedom to go out by myself even too, not have to think about
Right.
bringing
Yeah.
a caregiver.
Right.
Yep, having that freedom and independence, that autonomy is part of people enjoying that space. It's a spiritual experience. You want to do it alone sometimes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Okay.
asking.
Yeah.
I do like, there's something about me that really likes alternative one, but I think it's just because I like to build things, but it definitely is more expensive. And so I like your idea of 2 and 4.
Mhm.
I kind of don't like 3 myself. You'd be building a trough
Mhm.
that you couldn't see out of either way. So I think you're on a good track.
Good. Well. Okay. Good to
Cool.
know.
Thank you for your help.
Yeah. We need to
We
decide.
think go with,
Well, so we
So we
already
can get permits.
established that we can change our mind.
yeah, we could change all that stuff. Let's
Oh.
pick one
I'm,
and get our permits in and,
And if
And
you
that-
look at 2 and 4, our cost estimates for them were
similar.
really close
Yeah.
together.
Yeah.
So
I think Marty was in favor of 2.
Two, yeah.
I prefer 4.
I also prefer 4. The shape of it, where it is, it doesn't intrude on the visual from the pavilion or from that area looking back up the lagoon and trees would have to be taken down. Now, I'm really very much in favor of 4. Yeah, I am too. My only,
4 is Arnie's, correct?
yep,
Yeah,
my
that would
only comment, oh, go ahead, Kels.
I was just gonna say that would be my choice too at this point.
Yeah.
I'm not there, so with you guys, so I don't have as great of a visual, but based on what we've talked about and like the disruption and like the cost and the disruption of the views and the like how hard it is to get through that rock, like I definitely lean towards 4 personally.
Yeah. I am in favor of 4. I'm just gonna say one thing. We haven't gotten an estimate or anything from Arnie. So in order to get this as smoothly through, would we be smarter just going with 2 right now? And if we need to change our mind, we can, or because
Guys, I mean, yeah.
I don't know, we've got,
Have a cost estimate at all on it?
Oh, I think
yeah, I think it's 30, was it 30?
they all had a cost estimate.
Yeah, but that was what, 1390, I think was 4.
2 and 4 are both
290.
about 1.3 million.
Yeah, yeah,
Keep in mind, these are 3 years old.
yeah.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
a little increase in
Oh,
that.
God, yeah,
Couple of years out yet.
right.
You're adding 5 years.
Yeah,
The other thing was we have to get, with Arnie's, we gotta get a survey, and figure out where we are with the state land. Is that gonna affect the application process, or are we still okay to go, just say 4?
We go for the application based on the state approval and the engineer's approval.
Yeah, I mean, if you like 4,
Just go with 4.
I would say just do that and then.
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
If something falls apart, then we.
Then we can come back. Yep.
yeah. that was
Okay, good.
back.
Just wanted to make sure that. All right. Oh, good.
Let's do that then.
So you need a motion.
Anybody want to make a motion to?
I move that we accept alternative 4 as the plan.
Does anybody second that?
Second that.
Thank you for that.
And voice,
Motion carried.
voice vote.
Voice vote. Aye.
Aye.
Kels? Okay. Motion carried. Okay, so then the next thing to do is to fill out this application. So.
This one right here, you're telling me?
Yeah, thank you. Okay, so who wants, anybody want to do this or I'll do it together or?
I think that the application, you know, we have Rich Kula. He does grants. He did
Let's
this
have Rich do
for
it.
years.
Oh,
So
okay.
we'll just take care of the whole application. We'll draft
Wonderful.
everything. And then you guys, we should have a meeting with you guys where you can go over what was drafted.
Okay,
Okay.
But let's let the professional do that, do all
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
we have to have a motion for that?
As long as they're consensus, I mean, yeah.
All right, well then let's do that.
Yeah.
Yes, sounds great.
And during our last meeting, this does not have to go in front of the town. We're just gonna make them aware of it.
Yeah, it's at this point, I think that I talked to Glenn and we will let them know what we're doing. There'll be something on the agenda saying that this application has been sent in. It's so changeable right now. There's really not right for them to say, no, you can't do that or so, but we will keep them informed. We'll.
The important piece now is we hit the timeline for any funding and get that locked down.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
So it'll be on the agenda and it'll say discussion. It won't say approval, just discussion.
Thank you. Okay, good. That's fun. All right. So we got that squared away. Any new business?
No.
Okay, motion to be adjourned.
Motion.
I'll second it.
Okay.
Motion.
Aye.
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 Yeah.
Kels? You still?
Aye.
Aye. I love it. Okay,
All right.